Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to another in our series where we're talking to local practice partners in each of our hubs. Today we are talking to the Turkish hub. So I'll start by asking Gonca, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your organization, just so we can get a sense of, what kind of things you
Sure,
work on?
sure, of course, thank you. My name is Gonca. I am an ex-professional. If it is a proper explanation, I was working as a white collar finance and sales executive for years and years, and in parallel, I started to work in several NGOs. Towards the end of 2018, we decided to try something else, and we tried to implement an idea, community supported agricultural production. Does it work here in a little bit tweaked model? And we decided to set up a legal entity for that. And after we searched a little bit, decided to set up a cooperative. We're gonna target some small farmers, family-based small farmers. Can we make an impact on their economic and social life?
Mm.
That was the question. And we said, okay, if we can make them stay in production, because there were a lot of small farmers, family oriented mainly, as I said, almost leaving or edge of leaving their business, their farming. And the basic ideas we set up were like, okay, can we work with them to plan the production, all relevant stages? Can we be a channel between the producers and the consumers who are willing and committed to buy the products of these specific farmer families? So that was our role, being the link in between.
So Gonja, can you tell me a little bit about, I think maybe if somebody's watching this video and they don't really know how the project is structured, the idea is the researchers are working with these cooperatives, but the idea behind the project is to do some sort of transformation where you're, working closely with the practice partner. They have something some goal they want to reach for their organization, and then the researchers sort of see how can I facilitate this? What is the plan? Did you meet and decide and talk about what kind of transformation you were seeking for Temiz Hasat?
Actually, this is a very good point. What happened in the beginning of the project was that we were so much into day-to-day challenges
Mm.
because there is a commerce, there's trade behind that, and there is production, and there are some end users of Temiz Hasat. So it's like almost like a retail company.
Right.
So um, when they came first in the first place, it was just a very theoretical thing for us
Right.
because we were thinking, as I said, in a day-to-day survival basis.
Yes.
So, yeah, they started to ask questions, and we started to make meetings, and they kindly forced us to explain our story and our targets, etc. Um, Things started to find their places. So it was actually a very good nudge
Mm.
to us to, okay, ask ourselves what we are trying to do. What are we trying to achieve now? Is this a good, action, or is this completely unnecessary? Why are we doing this or that activity? Kind of questions. And after a very short period of time, they asked the project team asked us, okay, how can we help you in what aspects of your challenges can we help you?
Mhm.
So it was like a advisory. They were suggesting to be advisors or
Mm.
somehow coaches maybe for us. That was excellent. We had a couple of meetings on that one, and it appeared that sort of appeared that our main challenge was to explain our story and increase the supporters who buy Temiz Hasat products, basically sales. How can we reach more people, relevant people? So we started to talk about these type of things. So it was very, very eye-opening for our team.
And Çiğdem, could you maybe talk to me a little bit about, from the researcher side, your plan for the project?
So we completed, as you also know, this traditional ecological and agricultural knowledge related work. We are approaching towards we are finalizing it, and so we would like to work on that in the field, get to know what is the traditional ecological knowledge, how can we recognize it, how can we respect it, or better. So that's one of the aspects of the field work, and also we'll work on the sustainability assessment and what also Gonca just mentioned. How can Temiz Hasat improve its relevant, informed number of shareholders? We'll work on that, and how can they better explain their story?
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah, this is so interesting and great. I mean, the more I hear about these projects, it's such a cool thing that the researcher is trying to better understand, basically the experience of these producers and understand it both theoretically, but also in a practical sense, not just the producers, but then, this sort of distribution system, trying to do this alternative. So it's really neat to see, having these conversations in a way that maybe is helpful to the practice partner, helpful to the producer, helpful to the researcher. It's all coming together. It's the more I hear about these, examples, it seems it's nice to see this kind of work. So I'll go back to Çiğdem, and maybe you can tell me big picture. Okay, so the work of Temiz Hasat, but also other kind of smaller scale producers, aggregators, what is your vision for a transformed food system in Turkey? What, in the best case scenario, how do you incrementally transform, and what would that look like?
What we also focus in the project is the municipalities as a supporting ecosystem. So I think this formation of food policy councils in each city, with the support of the municipality and with merging or gathering all these different sort of stakeholders, like cooperatives or food communities, or we also have work in the project on the community gardens. So all the related stakeholders, and they need to be coordinated, and they also define the food policy together in a participatory way. I think, that would be my vision for a transformed food system, have a more decentralized system with a supporting ecosystem, and have a more participatory food governance system.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know, having interviewed across these different hubs, it's the similar kind of story, similar kind of problem. There's all these different actors sort of seeing the problem, trying to work on it, but not a lot of coordination between, because, as you were saying at the beginning, Gonca, like just getting through on your day to day is so time consuming mentally that it's hard to think about how can you, sort of organize it across these networks. So Gonca, last question for you, a big question again. What is your vision for a more sustainable food system in Turkey? Do you see the same kind of thing of connecting the different network actors, and would you add anything to that?
Again, big question. And the vision is really, it's like a dream actually at the moment. But why not?
Yep.
First of all, I would say, organized farmers who are producing with the local knowledge, using the traditional and modern ways together, and able to sell, take their production to the market without much expectation from the authorities. So, independence is important. For these macro level changes are crucial, of course. It's not within the power of small practices like Temiz Hasat, but whomever thinks about similar problems comes the same conclusion. It's not easy to feed 85, 87 million people in a land there is less and less water and less farmers. Plus this never-ending economic challenges, chronic inflation about 40%, etc. I think decision making needs to be decentralized. I agree with Çiğdem at this point. Local administrations should be given more budget and more power to support local production. If you can make meaningful segments of the country to produce and consume in the same hinterland, maybe that would be more effective. And at the same time, end consumers should ask, what am I eating? From where? How it is produced? Who produced this one? Yeah.
That's great. Anything else that we want to add that I didn't ask that you think is important to say before we finish?
Maybe I can add. I mean, if the project contributes to empowering consumer cooperatives like Temiz Hasat and also the producers they work with, or in general producers, and if it also contributes to the more democratic governance, more participatory governance of food production, that would be great achievement for us.
I love that. On that note, thank you both so much for taking the time. This was so nice. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.